ברגע שיהיה פיקוח על שכר הדירה, אתה תדע היטב מה התשואה על הדירה שלך, ואני אתן לך כדוגמה את מה שקרה בניו יורק בזמן המשבר הכלכלי.
Economists have said, and it may have come from Milton Friedman and George Stigler and their famous critique of rent controls written in the early 1950s, called roofs or ceilings. That if you have price ceilings, you're not going to have roofs. You're not going to have new housing built or housing maintained. And they said, the statement they made was that the easiest way to destroy a city besides bombing it is to impose rent controls. So what we have here is a series of pictures of bombings of cities that were bombed out during World War II, and some pictures of photos of what the South Bronx looked like, I guess in the 1980s or so. Okay, so let me just show you some of these. Okay, is that bomb damage or rent control? I have the answers on the back. Okay, that's bomb damage, right? That is Aachen, Germany. That's rent control. That is the that's the Bronx. It's hard to tell, but that looks like what? I'll tell you what it is. I think that's the bomb damage. Yeah, that's Hiroshima. No, that's Nagasaki. That's also that's Hiroshima. That, I believe, is rent control. Yes, it is. That's the Bronx. That's rent control again. It's hard to tell. I would venture bomb damage. Yeah, that's Nagasaki again. Yeah, that's rent control. And last but not least, yeah, that's rent control also. Okay, that's the South Bronx. Okay. No. Okay. So you get a deterioration of the housing stock and a shrinkage of the housing stock from conversions and from abandonments. Okay.
The most destructive unintended consequence of rent controls is that some landlords say, if I can't raise the rent, I won't make repairs. And they don't.
Short of aerial bombardment, the best way to destroy a city is through rent controls.
Rent control is a big reason many landlords abandon their buildings, just walk away from their investment. You see acres of it here in New York. All this has led some opinion makers to have doubts, and led some politicians to question the wisdom of what they had done. 2 years ago, Massachusetts decided to end rent control.
People are building housing now in Boston for the first time in 20 years.
Author William Tucker, who wrote this book about housing policy, says it turned out that only 6% of the people getting rent protection in Massachusetts were poor. Those people are now getting subsidies.
It would be a very easy thing to subsidize all the people in any city that need a little help in paying their rent. But instead you impose this blanket system that ruins the housing market, benefits all kinds of people who don't need it, and then you say, oh, we've got a housing crisis.
And that's what we have in New York City and other places where rents are still protected. While the privileged, the insiders, those who know how to work the system, get to freeload. And that's how it usually works.